I should probably put some clothes on. This room is so fucking small. Honestly, no, I take that back. My room isn't small. It's just this big ass bed that my grandmother does not want to get rid of. Girl, I need the fucking space. So I'm gonna put these on real quick. Normally when my grandparents aren't here, I tend to come out my room and watch TV. I used to do this when I was young. I would sneak out in the middle of the night and come watch my shows. I used to love Everybody Hates Chris. I don't watch it as much like I used to, but I still love that show. I used to love Criminal Minds, Chicago PD. I loved Chicago PD. That was my show. But yeah, the only streaming service I have really is Hulu, and it's because they offer that student discount, so it's $2.15 every month, which is not that bad. HBO does have student discounts, but there's not much on HBO that I want to watch. Most of the stuff that I'm like, okay, I would be interested in watching is on Hulu. Like Law and Order, I love Law and Order, SVU. That and Catfish are the only things I watch on Hulu, as well as the X-Files. I just gotta restart it over again because I'll watch it for like a good week and then I'll just like kind of forget about it. Still think HBO Max probably has the better movies, if I'm being quite honest. They have Pearl Harbor on here. Y'all, oh my God. When I was in 8th grade, my mom lived in these apartments that are about a town over from where I'm living now with my grandparents. And we didn't have any cable. So all we had to do was watch DVDs. And we only had a specific amount of DVDs now. So we would have to watch the same DVDs over and over and over again until they got fucking scratched up and shit. And one of my favorite movies was Pearl Harbor. And honestly, now that I think about it, I think I love that movie because of the historical context. I've read a lot of things that said Pearl Harbor was essentially like a knockoff Titanic. But personally, I like it. And I like it because, one, it does take that historical event and it gives it a grounded narrative, if that makes sense.
Editing me here. I just wanted to kind of clarify what I said because it sounds a bit confusing to my ears. But what essentially I was saying is that I like the Pearl Harbor movie because there's a consistent narrative to follow through. Like with the Titanic, you're following the love story around this big event, right? The sinking of the ship. So in Pearl Harbor, you're following the love story around the big attack. That's what I was trying to say. I still hope I said that right.
Because it somewhat revolved around a love story. Bro, it's so funny. All these new movies come out and they're on fire for a week. And then, they're just gone. People forget about them because so much happens just back to back to back to back to back. Now, y'all, I don't have social media. I don't have social media on my phone. I don't look on there. I don't get on social media. And to God. So I didn't even know Olivia Rodrigo came out with a new song. I just happened to be on YouTube on my laptop last night, and I was looking for something to listen to. I go to the music tab, and I see Olivia Rodrigo has a new video, and I'm like, okay. And I told myself I was gonna, because I wanted to listen to what I was looking for, right? So I scrolled past, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna listen to it. And I listened to it. I was like, girl, hey, what? That was a good song. The Cure is a good song. And I was waiting. That whole song, I'm listening to it. I'm watching the video. I'm like waiting for the drums to kick in. But they never kicked in until the very last fucking chorus, I want to say. I think it was the last chorus. I only listened to it once. But it was that last chorus they clicked in. I was like, I think I'm going to watch Pearl Harbor again. Because I have not seen that in forever. So, yeah. So, as you can see, I am at a park. This park is right around the corner from my house, so I tend to come out here a lot. I'm honestly waiting for my friend. We're supposed to go out and get McDonald's and just ride around.
I've gotten over that, but my friends are like my friends that know him and like know me, they're like, A lot of people I know don't even know some people that I talk to or some people that I talk to.
Hello, you guys. As you can see, I am on the bike. I just got back from hanging out with that friend. I rushed back because my cousin, who I don't really see like that, was in town. So I was like, oh, yay. But I don't even know what to make about her being in town. So first and foremost, I was telling my cousin a bit about what was happening during the moment with that friend and how they kept running out of gas, and so they were calling their parent to send them money for gas, and their parents were getting mad and didn't really want to do it. Like, it was a whole thing. And so my cousin was like, oh, I'm gonna tell grandma that you're stranded in the next town over. But the truth is, I wasn't stranded. It's just like, I'm telling you what's going on. I'm telling you what's happening as it's happening. But her first instinct wasn't like, oh, LOL, hope you figure it out kind of thing, something like that. It was more so, I'm gonna tell you, what's the point? What was the point of that? So that was the first thing. Second thing, the other thing that happened is that I get home, we're outside talking. Me, her siblings, her mom, and my grandfather. Her siblings asked, why don't you work at Firehouse anymore? And before I could even tell my damn fucking story, here she goes, because he got fired. And then started telling the story as if she was there. And I'm just kind of standing there. I didn't even know how to react in that moment. I didn't even know what to say. Why would you just expose my business like that? I would never do that to you. Plus, there's more to the story than he just got fired. Like, it's a whole situation. And so I didn't want anyone to know that because I didn't want anyone to ask fucking questions. So I just wasn't going to tell people I got fired. I was just gonna be, oh, I quit. But knowing how her mother is, and her mother overhearing that, she's gonna go back and tell my grandmother. My daughter said that he got fired. And then my grandmother's in there, why did you get fired? I thought you could, blah, 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 what happened? Like, bitch, it's not your business. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't want you to know because you don't see things correctly. It's always turning into some type of negative ass narrative that it didn't have to be, that it never was to begin with. So yeah, I didn't want my grandmother to know. I didn't want anybody to know. And I bounced back real quick. I got a job within 4 days of losing the Firehouse job. Work at Whataburger now, and it's going great. So that's what we should focus on. Please, let's not dwell on the past because I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, so that was the second issue I had with my cousin. Like, why would you do that? And then on top of that, we share locations. She goes and brings up, well, you're always there. Like, to get fired, you're always there, blah, 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 blah. Well, my bad for wanting to go and visit the people who I worked with. So after that whole situation happened, I wasn't really processing it right then. I was just trying to get past that moment and get on to something else. But it ruined the moment of fellowship for me because you ruined it. And then on top of that, she started hitting me. She's like, oh, you need to gain some weight on you. Stuff like that. And that's not our relationship. Like, at all. That was not our relationship at all. So to me, it's just like out of the blue. There's no like, oh, hey, cousin, I haven't seen you forever. It's just like, oh, why are you got that on? Like, why are you look like that? And I'm like, who are you? Like, who is this? This is not my cousin. But that moment really unsettled me. It low-key ruined this little reunion for me. It really did. They went on to the park and I just got on this bike and I had to get away and come talk about it because it ruined the moment for me. It ruined the fucking moment. Okay, you guys. So another thing happened once we got back to the house. My grandmother wanted to take some family photos so she could have some fresh photos. Cool, right? And so we took the photos, and after we took the photos, I was looking at them. I was like, oh, I like this one. And she's like, you like it because of the way you look. And I'm like, I mean, don't everyone like a photo because of the way you look? And my cousin's like, yeah, you only looking at yourself. Essentially saying that I'm selfish. And the reason I've come to that conclusion is because everyone in my family thinks that I'm selfish. But that's not true. It's just that I put myself first before I diminish myself to appease someone else. And all of their lives, they've always diminished themselves to appease someone else. Like, my cousin's currently doing that with her boyfriend. They were literally in the bathroom on the phone arguing over some dumb shit. And it seems like that's the pattern of their relationship. And they've been like that for 2 years. So maybe that's why she's changed a little bit.
A few moments later.
Okay, y'all. I got this at Kroger today. I'm reading the first article, which is essentially just the introduction, and I've read through his first album, second album, third, fourth, Purple Rain, and now I'm about to pick back up reading the 1985 year. Now, I'm starting to understand and see why I connect and resonate with Prince so much. Prince grew up in a very controlled, strict religious household. He was part of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I grew up in a very strict and religious household, but I grew up in the Pentecostal, apostolic environment. Prince says that he never really liked church because the Seventh-day Adventists focused so heavily on doomsday in the book of Revelation, and it was very fear-based. I didn't like church that much because it was control-based and focused on, if you don't live this way, you're gonna die and go to hell. It was fear-based as well, too. And reading that, I resonated deeply with that.
So, there's no natural end in any of these clips that I threw together. So I thought I'd just hop in during the editing process and say thank you for watching. If anyone other than myself and my friend Naomi is watching, thank you.